The old hotel had a reputation for being haunted. For years, guests had reported strange occurrences, from flickering lights to unexplained footsteps. But it was room 313 that truly terrified anyone who dared to stay there. It was said that at 3 a.m. the ghostly woman would appear, her spectral form twisted and tormented. Many had tried to capture her image or communicate with her, but none had ever succeeded. Emily didn't believe in ghosts, but when she checked into room 313, she was about to experience a terror beyond her wildest nightmares. It was the middle of the night when Emily checked into the old hotel. She was exhausted from her long flight and just wanted to get some rest. The receptionist handed her the key to her room on the 3rd floor and warned her not to wander around the hotel at night. Emily took the elevator up to her room and collapsed onto the bed, too tired to even take off her shoes. As she lay there, she couldn't shake the feeling that she wasn't alone. She sat up and looked around the room, but there was no one there. She decided it must just be her imagination and settled back down to sleep. But just as she was about to doze off, she heard a faint knocking on the door. She got up to investigate, but when she opened the door, no one was there. She shrugged it off and went back to bed. Around 3 a.m., Emily was jolted awake by a loud noise coming from the bathroom. She sat up in bed and listened, but everything was quiet again. Suddenly, the bathroom door creaked open and a cold wind rushed into the room. Emily shivered as she watched a figure materialize in front of her. It was a ghostly woman dressed in a long, flowing gown. Her eyes were hollow, and her hair was tangled and matted. Emily tried to scream, but no sound came out. The ghostly woman advanced toward her, reaching out with her ghostly hands. Emily backed away in terror, but the woman kept coming closer and closer. Finally, Emily reached for the phone on the nightstand and dialed the front desk. But when the receptionist answered, Emily found that she couldn't speak. The ghostly woman was now hovering over her, her breath cold on Emily's neck. And then, just as suddenly as she had appeared, the ghostly woman vanished. Emily was left alone in the dark, shaking and trembling with fear. She knew she would never be able to forget what had just happened to her in that haunted hotel room. The next morning, Emily tried to convince herself that it had all been a nightmare. But when she looked in the bathroom, she saw that the towels and soap had been moved around, confirming that the ghostly woman had been there. Emily decided she had to get out of the hotel as soon as possible. She went down to the lobby to check out, but the receptionist seemed surprised to see her. "I thought you were checking out tomorrow," the receptionist said. Emily shook her head. "No, I have to leave now." As she walked out of the hotel, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that the ghostly woman was still following her. She kept looking over her shoulder, but there was no one there. When she got home, Emily did some research on the hotel and found out that it had a dark history. The woman she had seen was believed to be the ghost of a woman who had been murdered in her room many years ago. Emily realized that she had narrowly escaped the same fate. She knew she could never forget what had happened to her in that haunted hotel room, and she warned others never to stay there. Despite her warnings, some people still chose to stay in the haunted hotel room. They came from all over the world, looking for a thrill or hoping to catch a glimpse of the ghostly woman. But none of them were prepared for what they would experience. One couple who stayed in the room reported waking up at 3 a.m. to find the ghostly woman standing at the foot of their bed. Another guest claimed to have seen her reflected in the mirror, her ghostly form twisted and distorted. As the stories of the haunted hotel room spread, so did the hotel's reputation. Some people started to book the room specifically to experience the ghostly presence, while others avoided the hotel altogether. Eventually, the hotel was forced to close its doors due to lack of business. But even after it was abandoned, people claimed to see the ghostly woman wandering the halls, searching for her next victim. Years went by, and the hotel became nothing more than a local legend. But one day, a developer bought the property with plans to turn it into a luxury resort. The workers who were hired to renovate the old building were warned about the haunted room, but they didn't believe in ghosts. As they began to work on the room, strange things started to happen. Tools would go missing, and the workers would hear strange noises coming from the walls. One night, they even saw the ghostly woman walking through the hallways. In the end, the developer was forced to abandon the project. The hotel still stands, a crumbling relic of a bygone era. But the ghostly woman still lingers, waiting for her next victim to enter her haunted hotel room at 3 a.m. The haunted hotel room still stands, a testament to the supernatural. Those who dare to enter it do so at their own risk, for the ghostly woman still lingers, waiting for her next victim to appear at 3 a.m. Some say that the room is cursed, that anyone who stays there will never escape the ghostly presence. Others believe that the ghostly woman is simply seeking justice for her untimely death. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: the haunted hotel room will continue to haunt the nightmares of those who enter it, forever.